Welcome again. Glad you're still with me. But a little more light on the subject. Me. Okay. If y'all don't like that, I can turn it off. But anyway, we want to see what I do last time is I placed some doors. I haven't finished placing my doors in this design yet, but I'm going to finish placing my doors eventually. Next thing I want to do is place my windows. Now, of course, windows, you got to be careful. With windows, you have certain code regulations or whatever that dictate the minimum size of a bedroom window and a minimum height. So do check your codes and things like that. Of course, we're not worried about height at the moment. We're mainly concerned with width. 3 feet wide is usually what you would rough in a window as, unless you just wanted something bigger. And two, depending on how specific you want to get, you can get the manufacturer's information on the actual windows that are going to be installed and do a rough in that way for whatever size they determine needs to be roughed in. But just for general purpose, for giggles, we will just use that 3 foot width, and I'll show you how I do window. Of course, I create blocks because a lot of my windows are going to be the same. Not all of them, some. But how I cut a hole for the window, and this of course can also translate to the way that I do doors as well. I can do doors that way also. I don't always do it the same way that I did before. But one thing I'll do is I'll do an offset, and I'll just pick whatever offset is in there and just offset that line, using my geometry that already exists. Then I'm going to move it. And I'm going to find, because I want this window to be in the center of this wall. This is the master bedroom. I want it to be right here. Okay. And you don't have to do it at the center. You can do it wherever you want to. But anyway, so if I'm going to do a 3 foot wide window, well, actually, because this is the master bedroom, I'm going to do 5 foot wide. So here's what I do. That's part of my technique right there. Then I'm going to offset again, but I'm going to offset this one at 2.5 feet. Okay, and I did it 2.5 feet to the left. I'm going to do it 2.5 feet to the right. I'm going to get out of that command. I can get rid of this line. And then I'm just going to go to trim, enter, and then enter to select all. And I'm just going to go to town, trimming stuff. So I'll cut my hole for my window. Okay, and then I just insert a block. I'm going to pause for just a second and make a block. I didn't even make a block for my window yet. And then I'll show you how I place that in there, which is really easy. Okay, so we've got that. Let's pause. Okay, I'm back and I have a window block. Okay, so placing a window, I'm going to go to insert and find the block I just created, which is this one, and move it over here. Now this one, I decided to change the insertion point on this window because it just makes it easier to insert it in there exactly where it needs to go. Instead, if I was doing it in the middle, I would have to kind of guess left or right. But here I can just snap right into that corner, and then there's my window. Okay, so that is how you do windows, or how you place windows. And stylistically, you typically want to, looking at the front of the house, your windows need to have some sort of symmetry, some sort of organization. You don't want to just randomly place windows here and there. You want from the front, from the street, you want your house to look really nice and proportional. The sides and the back aren't so important that way. The sides and the back, you can pretty much go with whatever it looks best on the inside of the house. Of course, some people would argue with that. Some people would say always the outside, no matter what side of the house you're on. But I typically, on the front, I'll symmetrically organize my windows. The sides and the back, I'm not too worried about it. Sometimes that does mean, when you're organizing your windows for the front, it might mean placing windows to where they don't exactly look great from the inside as far as positionally, but they work great for the outside. So those are just some design considerations to consider with placing windows. And as I get some more windows and doors placed here, I'll kind of go over that with you and show you some of those decisions that I made.